SavePoint, a show on YouTube, on the internet, wherever you are, where we talk about video games, topics and questions and stuff that you send us on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, using hashtag SavePoint. My name is Ryan Shepard.
I'm Nick Rubio.
I'm Hunter Taylor.
And without further ado, because we don't like the dew, unless it's Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
I like Mountain Dew. Code Red. Or Livewire. Livewire's good.
This is from Gamer X.
Gamer X.
How do you play a game? Go.
Berserk.
Wait, how do you play a game? Go tactical or go berserk?
Oh. Okay. Loot everything or run through.
So like, what's your style of gaming?
Give me a shotgun and 2 feet to run in on. That's how I play. That's how I've always played. Gears of War 101.
It's a mood thing for me. It depends on my mood, and it depends on the game. Like, a lot of times, if I'm playing like a first-person shooter, if you ever see me actually play like Call of Duty or something, I'm like the person like where I start and like I move all slow at first, and I pretend like in real life where I'm dipping around corners and stuff, and I'm like, man, I'm so bored, and then I just run around.
And everybody's running around with 4 pistols that are purple going.
We're playing Bayonetta? Did Bayonetta get a multiplayer and I didn't know about it? People Wii U?
Yeah, but I pretty much almost always just run around and run and gun. And I'm always like, man, if we worked as a team, we'd do so much better. And then I try to do that for 2 minutes, and then I realize I'm not talking to anyone, and then I just start doing what I was doing before.
Yeah, I do this thing where like I don't like running inside the map. I like running around the map and picking people off who are trying to get to the middle of the map. I don't know.
That's more tactical. That's definitely more tactical than I
guess.
I try tactical and it usually fails, so then I go berserk.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it comes to looting or running through things, I usually loot.
I'm meticulous as balls.
Yeah, I do not leave. Like one game that was really bothering me with that was Infinite, because there's so many open areas where they're like, have fun looting every trash can
and finding pineapples and shit.
and like, ooh, let me loot this barrel. I didn't know cake goes in there. But literally, Infinite was like the worst and the best with that, because like every square inch there was something. And my collector mindset, I had to do everything. Even though I knew it would bother me that I had to do it, I was like, oh, I have to do it, and then do it anyway.
I'm not a collector.
Yeah, I know you are.
I do not like that collecting. But if I'm playing an RPG, I like to explore everything, because I feel like, you get those random encounters and stuff, and you can get a higher level, you get more experience, or you find secret stuff. But it also makes me mad, because that's the only case where I go all out. So if I'm playing an RPG game and I come into like a fork and I know one way is really long and elaborate and so is the other one, but one is clearly the path you're supposed to go, I'm so mad, because I know I'm going to go the other way first. I'm like, damn it, why did you give me this option? Now I have to explore this.
Castlevania did that a lot in Lords of Shadow, or it was like, you knew which way was the right way, but I know I'm not going to go that way.
Yeah.
I think there's something down this other way.
What's the worst is when there's nothing there. Like you go through like 5 or 6 tunnels and rooms and like up a chute and down a rainbow and there's nothing there. They're like, oh, as a programmer, what happened? You're like, all right, we derailed them long enough.
Should
we put some loot here? No.
What I think it is I think there's like a secret that it's like behind the wall. I get to bust down a wall or something, but they don't give you any visual cues to do that. So like you walk down that hallway, because there's one thing that I've seen, like, or at least I've visually learned from video games, is that they don't do anything for no reason. There's always a fucking reason for something. Very few cases where I've ever seen a game where there is no reason for something that they've done. Very few.
I don't know, man. I've had some bad dead ends where it just makes me mad. Maybe I just wasn't clever enough to figure it out.
When it comes to like the tactical berserk thing, my main games that I usually fail epically at with that is usually like Ghost Recon or something. Like with Splinter Cell, I can do it with Splinter Cell, and I can do it with Vegas. But for some reason with Ghost Recon, I always get caught.
You mean the one game that actually requires tactical finesse to play the game?
Well, I mean, some of the shooters where it's like it takes like 2 or 3 shots to kill you. Like I think isn't Ghost Recon kind of like that, where like they make it more realistic?
Well, no, kinda and kinda not. Like Future Soldier was it was like semi-realistic, but kind of not at the same time. So they were just like, oh, just sneak past and do all this other stuff, and you're like, okay. And half the time I'd be successful with it, but the rest of the half of the time they'll throw way too many people. Then they'll have a helicopter. Then they'll have 3 snipers and all this other shit. And then you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna step out a couple one time, just one time. I'm done. And then everything's
You're on the wrong side of the game, my friend.
I guess so.
I like games where they force you to play differently at different times. Where like, hey, this is how you've been playing this whole time. That doesn't work anymore. You have to be sneaky.
One game that was definitely like that was Far Cry 2 and 3. Like I liked how they let you tackle situations that whatever you want. So you're like, oh, I could use the RPG here and then go in with my Scar and F everybody up, or
Except
just-
Far Cry 2, you did the same thing every time because that game was just a fucking repeat on steroids.
I like Far Cry 2.
Take down the same caravan on a different spot across the map. Destroy this drug lord across the map.
Destroy this drug lord.
It was the same missions over and over and over again. That was the trappings of Far Cry 2.
You know what the best part about that game is?
The malaria?
Like, the fact that nobody talked like a regular person. Like, the entire time I heard about Far Cry 2.
No. Well, I mean, I had it like years ago.
Say, like, if you were to, like, oh, I'm just gonna talk to this guy and get a mission. You're like, yeah, you gotta go to the mission, go to the patch, is that, you got that? Okay, fine. You're like, like, he'll talk, like,
Super speedy fast.
yeah.
I don't remember that. I just remember having to walk across the map, and there were no animals. Apparently, it was Africa, but there were no animals at all.
They had animals, but they had no, like, predator, like, you know what I mean?
I saw like a
Grass.
zebra once in a while.
They had, like, gazelles and stuff.
Very rare.
You know, let us know in the comments, what's your play style? How do you approach a game? Are you tactical? Are you like balls to the wall? Are you like, you know, throwing your grenades? Are you like me where you get like an RPG or something and like you're, no, there's gonna be a point where I really, really need this and I'm gonna use it too soon or I'm not gonna have it.
Or looting barrels for cakes.
Yeah, are you a master collector or are you just like, I just wanted to get through this game?
Master collector. Jason O'Malley asked us, I'd like to know your thoughts on gay characters in games and why the industry seems homophobic.
Wait, what? That was a little fast, I'm sorry.
And why the industry seems homophobic.
Deep questions. No, that's actually a very serious topic. Thank you for suggesting that. And you know, it is something that is very relevant, especially right now, because there are very few games with LGBT characters in them. And, you know, we were discussing this a little bit earlier, actually, and, you know, the games that often have characters who are either homosexual or transgender in any form, it's usually almost as like a joke. Gentlemen?
Most of the time it is. Very few cases I know, or they're like crazy. They're like crazy maniacs who are like, you know, like, and like they were saying in Code Veronica X where he was like obsessed with his twin sister and he like dressed up like a woman, you know, but he was a bad guy, he was just crazy, and then that helped demonize him more. You know?
It's always like something like that's a character who is off or atypical or like, oh, that's not normal, which is a huge problem. Or like, you know, you have games like Mass Effect or Dragon Age or like Fable, yeah, that's a good one. Where
Can you do that in Elder Scrolls?
yes, in Skyrim I believe so.
You can?
Mm-hmm. I believe so.
I don't know. I don't remember being able to seduce a man as a man.
I'm pretty sure you
Or a
can.
woman as a woman.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure in Skyrim that you can. But the thing is with games like that, the problem is that it's just something that you can choose to do. It almost seems that developers are afraid to put you in the shoes of a character who is, you know, who's like that character is gay. They're non-heterosexual. Because what, are they afraid that you're not going to want to play a character if it's like, oh, I don't want to play it?
That's what a lot of people are saying. Well, before About a Gay Tony, the DLC for GTA 4 came out, a lot of people were like, oh, you're playing as a gay guy, this one. And then like, most of the people who didn't even play it, they're like, isn't that the one where you play some gay guy? I didn't play it. And I was like, no, not really. And I was like, would that be an issue? Like, I don't know. I think it just, wasn't there like an article that said like the world isn't ready for one yet?
Polygon wrote something, I believe it was Polygon, that wrote something about how it was a developer speaking to them saying how, you know, a lot of people don't feel that the market is ready for a gay main character, or, you know, you to play somebody where you don't have the choice to be something different, you know. And honestly, I think that's dumb. I think if they just went out and did it anyway, that they'd get reception from tons of people, because I feel like the world isn't ass backwards anymore as it used to be, you know, and they would be praised as, I mean, it would, you know, if it wasn't a good game, it's not going to be a good, you know, then that's what I feel like a lot of people are going to say, that, you know, it wasn't a good game. But if it was a good game and there's no arguing point aside from the fact that, oh, you play a gay character, like.
Actually, there is one that I can think of actually.
What's that?
But it's not really a spoiler, because you guys haven't played it, clearly. But, do you mind if I say it?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, we have no idea.
Spoiler alert, I guess. We don't even know what game it is.
Spoiler. It's for The Last of Us. So if you play the Left Behind DLC, actually Ellie is
lesbian?
for Riley, that girl that she like
Really?
that died or whatever.
Interesting.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Wow. Good job, Naughty Dog. I commend you for that. And I think you're right. I think that we are in a place where we're ready for that, and I think it's important because one of the reasons why I love video games as a platform for telling a story is that it's unrivaled in putting yourself in that person's shoes. Like, their struggles are your struggles because you're facing them. Like, you're going through their trials and tribulations when you play that character. So if you put this in a game and then just write it off as like oh, by the way, you're gay. You know what I mean? Like, it would be relevant because in today's society, it is going to affect your encounters with people, your interactions. It's going to be
helps develop empathy,
yeah.
which is a problem that a lot of people have. I mean, I know I saw this one article about these developers who were making this like iPhone game to help children develop empathy, which is kind of scary because they should just develop empathy normally, but apparently that doesn't seem to be the case where they feel that they actually need to make a game that help you make, choices that...
But I think it's good that that's out there. I think that's something that's very important to try to encourage people to put themselves in the shoes of people that aren't like them. And I mean, and throw that out the door just for people who deserve to have a character they can relate to.
There was that other article that I read, it was for Guild Wars 2 about they have a character in Guild Wars 2 who has like a muscular disease and like she can't really like walk around, so she has to have a robot like carry her around, and I guess this girl who has muscular dystrophy.
Okay.
And she wrote to Guild Wars saying how inspired she was for playing their game, and that there was this girl who, although she had this disease, she was able to, function and, go around and do everything like a normal person would in the game.
Especially among younger children, like they look at characters and like, they're like me. And that gives them something to look up to, like a hero figure. I think it's very important. And if anyone says that we're not ready for it, they're dumb.
I don't think developers are homophobic though.
I think it's going to depend. I think in a lot of cases you probably are, because I mean you have, unfortunately the industry is still currently majorly, male dominated.
But is it like the developers or the publishers? I mean, we don't know how many times somebody's tried to put something through and been like they've been told no by their publishers.
I think it's a process that'll similar to like things going from physical to digital. It'll take time, but over time I think it won't become an issue. Like, it won't be an issue anymore. It's just the world is slowly changing, and as it changes, I think everything will just come into place fine. Like, it's just like you said, there's still a lot of people who are not keen on ideas like that, but soon things will change. It's just not going to be immediately.
I think it makes that more important though because of that. Because there are so many people who are against it, I think it's important to be a pioneer in that field, saying like, hey, no.
Front runner.
Yeah, just be the person to say, look, we're going to make a game, and you're going to play as a gay character, and buy it or not. You know what I mean? But I mean, that's hard with these major publishers and everything. But I would definitely love to see that more. Did I read a topic yet? I don't care.
No.
Okay. This is from @BigRedNY on Twitter. Okay, is Batman Arkham Knight on your agenda? They announced it and released a trailer today. Would be cool to hear your guys' thoughts on it. Well, thank you. I'm glad you want to know what our thoughts are.
I am super excited for Arkham Knight. I have not played Arkham Origins. I beat Arkham City like 5 times. I beat Arkham Asylum like 7 times. The only reasons why I haven't started Origins is because I heard it was compared to City and Asylum, but Knight...
IGN says
but I still want to play it, but the Knight trailer looks amazing. Like, have you seen it yet?
No, I have not seen it.
Well, the thing is, the trailer is like, the one that's out now is, it seems like just cinematic. I didn't see any gameplay or anything.
No, it's not a gameplay trailer, it's just a launch trailer.
When I was younger, I used to be super excited about cinematic trailers, but now I'm just like, okay. I mean, you can, it looks amazing. What they said that you're actually going to be able to use the Batmobile in the game, and it's going to be a big part of like the gameplay and everything. Could be really fun. It could also suck because like they haven't done anything with vehicles before to this date, have they?
No.
So I hope that's going to be really cool. It should be really cool.
I trust Rocksteady. Rocksteady really, like, is a master of their art, I guess you could say, especially with Batman, because they're so comfortable doing those games. So I really do think that it's going to turn out well. one thing I'm interested in is seeing who the main villain is, because by the look of the trailer, it seems like Scarecrow's gonna be the main villain.
Really? Because I thought
Or
it's
gonna
in the
be-
first one he, or is
It was
this,
never.
is this after City and Asylum?
Yeah, it's not. It hasn't been proven that he's died. It just.
Well, I know, because
He got screwed up by Killer Croc.
yeah, that's what I was saying. He got like dragged away by Killer Croc, and nobody like really ever said anything after that.
Like.
I hope so. He's my favorite Batman villain.
Yeah,
so.
he's one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
he's a
too.
cool one.
But it also looks like from the trailer too, they're gonna be mostly Scarecrow, because you don't see Scarecrow once in the trailer. All you hear is his voice.
Right.
Or it's gonna be all the villains. Like I think it might be like one last go at Batman or whatever.
They said it's gonna be the last installment. Yeah.
So I think
they're
it's
gonna
gonna
do
be
like the ultimate fight.
an all-out thing, and obviously the Joker's not in because he died in City. Spoiler, sorry.
Spoiler alert. If you haven't played that yet, I
I
mean.
mean, it's like 30 years old, so.
I mean, they said he died in friggin' Asylum too.
Well,
Comic book villains never die.
he didn't die in Asylum though. He got taken away at the end.
That's right.
Yeah, like every.
No, it actually does look pretty cool. I want to see some gameplay. How about that? How about them apples?
Is it only gonna be next gen?
I don't know. They didn't
Probably
say.
not. I think they're probably still gonna put it on the current titles. Is it current gen anymore, or are we now calling it last gen?
I'm gonna say last gen.
Yeah.
It's-
I think, are we there yet? Can we say last gen now?
I feel like with collectively 10 million units sold on both PS4 and the Xbox One,
It's officially last year.
it's last gen. I'm sorry.
10 million is not cool. You know what's cool? 10 billion.
Good luck. You're wishing what Kaz Orion. Who's the head of Xbox?
I mean, don't even mention the fact that there isn't 10 billion people on this planet. There's like 7, so. A 2 in every household. Well, I mean, if everyone bought a PlayStation 4, like all people in Africa and third world countries as well, because they're part of the population, if everyone can just spend $900, actually it's more expensive in other places,
Yeah.
to buy an Xbox One and a PlayStation 4, let's not even talk about the Wii U, then yeah, 10 billion, achievable.
The Wii is still in a dark place. It's in limbo right now.
I think when Smash Brothers hits, it's gonna
sell
it'll pick
well.
up. I think so. Smash Brothers and Bayonetta are two big games that are
Did the
coming.
Wind Waker HD release?
Yeah, a while ago.
Okay.
That's pretty sudden.
There you go.
Yeah, that's right
That
there.
tells you how important it was.
That's right there.
That's like when I was like, hey, when's the Wii U come out? Like last year, it's like it's been out for months. Oh.
Well, yeah, you did ask that, and I said that. I was like,
Yeah.
it's been out since last October. You're like,
Ouch. Not good for them. Well, hey, thank you for joining us for Save Point. Don't forget to leave us your topic suggestion and like the video. And if you haven't,
what are you doing?
We have nothing to say to you.
subscribe to the channel. is what we were going to say. And that's it. I don't know what else to say to you.
Thank you for all the support, and we love you. So.